Hey everybody, welcome to Frannie's Hair. Today I have two ladies, Chanel and Sabrina from John Renault with me, and we are going to talk color. They're going to take us through the basics today, and then we're going to have another class coming up in about a week where we dive into it a little bit deeper. So, do you guys want to just introduce yourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're so glad to be here. Thank you, Frannie, so much for having us. We're excited about this series that we're doing. Just like she said, it'll be a couple of different episodes talking about all things color. I'm Sabrina. I'm one of the educators here at John Renault.
Hello, everyone. I am Chanel. I'm also one of the educators here at John Renault, as well as a licensed cosmetologist. So color is definitely my jam. So we are very excited to talk to you all today about that.
Yeah.
And I have to say, this is one of the topics I get the most questions on because it's really difficult to get color right at first. And when you're looking at wigs and you see like 12FS12, what does that mean? So this is great.
Yeah, and honestly, Franny, just like you, even us as the manufacturer get the question all the time on social media in general, our customers. We have so many colors, which is a great thing because you have so many to choose from. But that also means you need to know the color breakdowns. You need to know the color families. You need to be educated around what the colors mean when, for example, Franny says, what does 12FS8 mean or 12FS12? And so we're going to go through that in this series with you today. So should we get started?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so follow along, take notes if you need to. We're first going to go through the color family. So this is a hair industry standard that we also follow. So when you are thinking of black, think of that 1 to 2 range. So anything that's 1 to 2 is going to be in the black family. For brown, that is 4 to 12. That's the range. And then think of it like this as well. If you're at a 4, you're going to be in that darker range. And then once you go to 12, you'll be in that lighter brown range. And that's the same with all of the across the board colors. For blonde, you're in the 14 to 26 range. For red, we have a unique little situation here. So 27 to 33 is like our gorgeous, beautiful educator over here. It's that natural, beautiful red.
Yeah.
But we also have 130 to 134, which is more of like that fashion. Think Rihanna, think really strong, beautiful red as well. Just more on the fashion side. Then we have our gray. So it's 34 to 60 plus 92. So if you see that 92, you're in the gray family. And same with platinum. So platinum has a unique situation like that as well. It's 101 to 104 plus 613. So again, you see those, you know that you're in that platinum family.
And I have one question, which is number 2, because I've seen sometimes it described as the darkest brown. So is it on the edge or is it actually a black?
So it is kind of on the edge. Yeah.
Okay.
So it is considered in the hair industry standard to be a black, but when you think of 1 to 2, 1 being the darkest, and then 2 is on that edge where it's going into that brown family.
Okay.
So that is probably what they are seeing. So they are seeing that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And the difference too between 1 and 1B, the 1B is going to be a little bit warmer actually. So if they're looking for more of that like cool, like blue black, the color 1 is going to be more of that like ashier, cooler black versus the 1B is actually going to be a little bit warmer of a black color.
And I think that's important to know, especially the blue black that she was describing. So that very black color that almost looks blue.
And especially as we get into probably the next class where we talk about what's best for your skin tone and all.
Yes.
Exactly. So you need to stay tuned because we will be talking about that and all the tips and tricks. But it is really important, especially if you're looking to have a very natural piece that you want to go well with your skin tone, all of these things. It's very important to match that. And so in order to match that, you need to know and have all this information.
Yeah. Exactly. So now that we've talked about the color families, which are the numbers themselves, again, like Sabrina was mentioning, that's hair industry standard. Now we're going to talk about the John Renault color codes, which now is exclusive to John Renault. So these are the letters within the color breakdown. So now we have the numbers. Now let's talk about the letters and what they mean. The first letter we're going to go over is H, which is a highlight, which is 20% highlight. So anytime you see the letter H, that's going to have 20% of the lightest color, which is going to be your highlight. And then you have your RH. Your RH is going to be your Renault highlight. So now you have 33% highlight. So you're going to increase that highlighted color in there. So if you want a little bit more pop, a little bit more highlight, go for the RH. It's going to be a little bit lighter throughout, just because of those lighter colors are now showing a little bit more than the H. Now we also have the FS, which is Fashion Syrup, which we'll talk about in some of our color code breakdowns, which is a bold highlight. So anytime you see those kind of like those money pieces, those bolder highlights, kind of like a balayage in a way where you see the definition of those pieces, those lighter pieces, you're going to have Fashion Syrup. So it's going to be a bold highlighted color. And then we have our RO, which is our Renault Ombre. So it's going to be a graduation of color. So think of kind of like your cascading collection within the John Renault line. It's going to be a graduation of color going from darker to lighter. It's beautiful. It's a really transitional kind of color blend. And then we have the S, which stands for shaded, which is going to be your root color. So if it has the letter S in it, it's going to be a shaded root. So it just means it's going to be a little bit darker at the root there. It just adds a little bit more of that natural kind of grown out effect. And it just kind of softens the piece a little bit more. And then you have your RN colors, which are your Renault natural colors, which are only in human hair. And it's just going to be a line that we have that has no textile dyes. They are going to be a little bit warmer in color as well. And then we have our blended and tipped colors. So now these are the codes. So anytime you see the dash, it's going to be an equal blend of the two colors. So think of like 6-33. That's going to be an equal blend of the color 6 as well as the color 33. So it's a complete blend throughout. And then we have our MB, which is a pre-mixed color. So there's a mixed blended color that they pre-make in the factory. So anytime you see MB, it's typically a whole bunch of colors that they blend together. It's like kind of like a proprietary blend in a sense. And then we have the letter F, which just means a darker nape. So you will see that maybe on some shorter styles, it has more of a natural graduation effect of the darker nape, because naturally with biological hair, you will get that darker nape a little bit in there. So we wanted to add that into some of our pieces and our color blends just to have the most natural effect. And then we have T for tipped. So that just means that the lighter color is extended a little bit longer than the darker color. And that will only be available in wig colors. So we have no toppers at John Renault that are tipped, because that won't blend in with the biological hair. But for the wigs, anytime you see like 24BT 18S8, that means that that lighter color is going to be tipped and a little bit longer. So it's not that the actual hair is dyed lighter at the end, but that lighter color is going to extend a little bit longer. It's beautiful.
Wow. I just learned so much in just that little bit. That's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. And I was going to say, I personally love being blonde a lot. And so that's when the code S comes in handy, because that shaded root, like Chanel was talking about, gives a very natural transition. And, you know, when you match that root that's shaded to your eyebrows, for example, it looks super natural. So even though I'm not naturally a blonde, even though I think blondes have so much fun, like they say, I can be a blonde with those shaded roots because it matches my eyebrow color and it has a really nice transition of color.
Yeah, I totally agree. I say that all the time, that if I'm wearing a blonde, I like to get it rooted so it, you know, my eyebrows are darker.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's definitely possible, but you probably just need a shaded color.
Yes. I always like to match my eyebrow colors to the colors that I'm wearing too. So I'll change my eyebrow makeup. So if I'm wearing more of a red, I'll actually go in with more of an auburn eyebrow color, versus if I'm wearing something that's a little bit shaded, that's a little bit darker, maybe like a shaded root of like a 6 or something, I go in with a darker eyebrow pencil. So we change up our makeup a lot too based on that.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I think that's also important to note, even when we're going on set and when we do our photo shoots here, because Chanel styles all the hair on set, is that even our makeup artists will change up the makeup. And
Yeah.
maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next episode that we have with Frannie, where it really does matter sometimes those little details, like Chanel was talking about changing
Mhm.
your eyebrow color. I don't wear a super dark lip if I'm wearing a certain color. Maybe it's a lighter lip or no eyeshadow at all. So there's all these different things that you can do that can help the piece really complement you in your skin tone and whatever it is you're wearing. Yes.
Great
Okay.
plug. I'm excited about the next one too.
This one is, shorter and sweeter. We wanted to get you all the information. The codes are very important. Like Chanel
Yeah.
said, she talked about the codes. I talked a little bit about the numbers. And that really is a very, very important starting point to even get into the colors. Because, like I said, we have a ton of colors. And so, in order to not feel overwhelmed, it's really important to get the basics, which is that's what this episode is all about, is the basics. And so next we're going to see some of these on Frannie, these styles. And as she's wearing them, we'll go through some of the colors and break down and describe it.
Yeah, I just want to touch on that really quick. I think that sometimes as, a consumer, we have a lot of fun with the color names because like shaded peach, all of that is so fun to learn the names of them all. But it's
Yes,
really important to know what you're looking at, and that's how we're going to kind of determine that. So when you have the
yes.
numbers and the letters, you'll know what that color looks like because a shaded peach, that just sounds delicious, but we don't
I
actually know
love
what that
peaches.
means until we see the color code breakdown, right? So that's why it's so important to learn the color codes as well as the color families so you know what you're
Exactly.
getting and you can actually kind of visualize the breakdown of that color.
Totally agree. Okay, so let's start with the first one that Frannie's wearing.
Yes.
Did you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yes, our gorgeous model. Look at her.
Oh, Lord.
It's
What
all the hair.
what style are you wearing, Franny?
This is Julianne Light. I've had her for a while. She wears so well, and she's in shaded peach.
I love it. Okay, so
Shaded
shaded
peach.
peach is going to be 30A 27S4. So you're going to have that 30A. So again, in those color families, you're going to have that red blend with the 27, again, another red. So this is going to be more of like your natural, kind of what Sabrina was talking about, more of your natural kind of redhead look, but it has that shaded root of a 4. So she really can switch it up with her
Which
makeup.
I
It adds a
love.
really soft root, and you will notice too in our color blend here at John Renault, we actually put the lighter color in the front. So you'll see how she has like kind of that lighter flash front in the
Hmm.
front there. It just really creates a beautiful soft hairline, a soft blend. And so yeah, we love this color. We like yeah, we always hold this color. It's a beautiful natural red, kind of like that
Yes.
like brunette, kind of chestnutty red tone. It's a beautiful color. If you
I
are a
love
natural
it.
redhead but you like some warmer tones, this is beautiful.
Yeah,
And, and the rooting is done so well because it's not stark or anything. It looks natural. I
Yeah.
love it.
absolutely.
And we do our roots about like an inch to an inch and a half. It just really depends on the color blend itself. It depends on the style as well. Some styles will reflect different root lengths. We really tailor each color based on the style as well. Like everything that we think about here at John Renault is so like thought out just to make sure that the color placement as well as the style complement each other.
That brings up a great point. So, say you're using the same color, but you have a wavy wig versus a straight wig or a short versus a long. Do you use that color differently?
Yeah. So the thing is, the color is going to reflect differently. So it might not be different in the color blend, but it's going to look different. The way that the
Great
light
point.
hits the curly color versus a straight color is going to reflect a little bit different. Another thing too is going from very long to very short. The color is going to
Yes.
look different on like a shorter pixie style versus a very long style
Yes.
because now you're seeing more of that color distribution on the longer style. Versus the shorter style, you're not going to see it as much. You might not see the root as much. You might see more of that end color. So that's also something to consider as well. But curly versus straight, yeah, it's definitely going to reflect a little bit differently.
Okay. And heat friendly versus regular synthetic?
Yes.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Be friendly, regular synthetic or traditional and human hair, all those things, it will look, it's not going to be exact.
Hmm.
Typically heat friendly runs a little warmer in color because it mimics human hair. And so whereas traditional synthetic, it's almost like just true to color. You slap that, on the strand and it's very true to color. So that's an important thing to keep in mind.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
The human hair is going to be a little bit warmer because you have the natural human hair underlying pigments, which are like
Yes.
your reds, your oranges, your yellows. So it's going to be a little bit warmer in tone. But like Sabrina said, if you want that super, super true to tone, cool, 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 ashy color, the traditional synthetic is going to be your way to go versus the the human hair is going to look a little bit more neutral, a little bit brighter in the sense that it's going to have a little bit more of that like golden reflection.
Yep. That's a great point because I think sometimes we'll get that, Franny, where it's like, wait a second, I had this color, and that's a really important topic that we even talk about, a lot here at John Renault is that over the different fibers, the color differentiates differently across the board. So if that is important. And I was even thinking as Chanel was talking, all of these pieces are hand done. So you may get a piece like the one that you have on, and it's not going to look completely identical, replicated. It will be very close because our quality department is amazing here and at our factories. However, keep in mind that this is truly a craft, an art, and so it's all done by hand.
Mhm.
That's a great point.
Yeah, just important little things to note.
Yes. Okay, let's see you transform into a different.
Yes.
I'm gonna go blonde now. How do you feel about that?
Yay! Yay. And it may just be our favorite blonde.
Blonde and longer. I
Blonde
love
and
I
longer.
love how you can just change up your look just like this.
It's so amazing. So
So
cute.
cute.
Oh
I
You
love
like?
my gosh. Oh
This
my
is
goodness.
Heidi in Catalina Blonde.
Catalina Blonde.
Yes.
Shall we break down Catalina Blonde?
yes.
Okay. She is 101 88 27 S8. So in between those colors is what Chanel taught. Pop quiz. In between those colors is a dash. So it's 101 dash 88 dash 27 S8. And what did we learn earlier about dashes?
That it's blended equally.
It's
How
blended.
did I do?
Yay, that is correct. That's a blended equal color. So
If I got it wrong, I was just editing it out. So
she was gonna edit it out if she got it wrong, but she got it right because
You
she's
got
a
it
great
right.
student, amazing student and listener. So yeah, so it's 101, which we talked about, is that platinum color, and our 88 is a unique proprietary color of blonde that we have as well with our 27. And if you remember, S8 is what the shaded root is, so it's shaded with an 8. The reason I love Catalina Blonde is because that 8 transitions really well, even if you have darker eyebrows, but you love this color. The other thing about Catalina Blonde, and I know maybe you can speak to this, is we did a whole little segment where we had it on different skin tones. So like somebody that was really light, somebody who had a little bit of olive complexion, and then somebody like myself with darker skin. And it looks amazing across the board. I mean, this is a universal blonde. We hit it out of the park with this one.
yeah,
Yes.
it is so great.
Yeah.
Another thing too with our Catalina blonde that I love is that we did increase the flash front. So we did
Yes.
increase the rows of the blonde in the front there. So it's going to be the only color that we have that has the most boldest like flash front area. But whereas our other blends, they don't have as much of that brighter front. So it's a really that's I think why also it can kind of transition between skin tones because you have a little bit more versatility with the flash
And
front
it
there.
really brightens up your face, you know?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes. I love wearing her. So Chanel styled her in Blake on set, and I wore her for the live, and I was like, I don't want to take her off. Like it really brightens
Yeah.
like you. Like if you are feeling tired, put your Catalina blonde on. It's gonna wake you up and make you look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Like it is such a good color.
Yeah, it is
That looks
gorgeous.
amazing on you.
It's super beautiful. I think, like we were mentioning earlier too, is that because she's wearing Heidi, that's a traditional synthetic. So that's how cool it's gonna look. You're getting her
Yeah.
icy, icy blonde with her. Versus if you do put something like a Blake on, you'll see that the Catalina blonde's a little bit more neutralized.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more neutral of that tone throughout. So it really just depends on what you're looking for as well. If you want something that's a little bit more neutral or something that's really truly cool in tone.
Yeah, absolutely. Gorgeous. So, last but not least, let's try on a chunky, bold, fun color.
Okay, I love this color.
Yeah.
Toffee truffle. And
Yes, yes.
I, even though it's February, I have her in January.
Ah, I love
I love
it.
it. That's
Look
so
how
cute. So
cute.
cute.
Okay, so she's wearing January, you said, because even though it's February. So January is toffee truffle. And did you want to break down the code?
Yeah, I can break it down. Okay, so she's FS6-30-27. So what that means is because it has the dash, it's going to be equally blended. However, now that she has the FS, what that means is that brighter color is going to be those bold highlights throughout. So as you can see here, like you'll see how she has some of that brighter color throughout there, you're gonna see that. So it's kind of had that base of that color 6, but then it blended in with the 30 and the 27. So it's going to be kind of like a true chestnutty brunette color, whereas the shaded peach is going to be more of your natural redhead kind of tone. Whereas this color, now you're getting into more of like if you're a brunette, but you want some of those caramel kind of highlights, is going to be a beautiful kind of reflective tone. We have Stella Reynolds here that owns John Renault with, and she
That's her
wears
favorite
like
color.
this. She loves this color. So we have this
That's her
color
color.
in
I
everything.
That is her color.
That is
I
her
can
color.
see why. It's really so beautiful.
It's
Really.
so gorgeous. And I'm such a chunky highlight girl. Like I love our fashion syrup and I love our Renault highlights. Like I'm not like a subtle girl when it comes to the chunky highlights. Like I just love them so much. So yeah, I love toffee truffle. I love anything, even like we were talking about the Catalina blonde with the big money pieces. Like I just like statements like that. So
Yeah.
if you love those kind of bold, chunky highlights, like you're going to love fashion syrup colors like toffee truffle, the Catalina blondes. Like those are my jam.
Yeah. And the beauty of wigs is you can be like that sometimes and sometimes a really blended color, however, you're feeling that day.
Absolutely. And that is the most fun part about it is you don't have to just be married to one fashion syrup Renault highlight. You can have a multitude, as some of one of our favorite salespeople says, a wig wardrobe. So something like that is like really the exciting part of having pieces is you get to have stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So does
Okay.
that wrap it up for today, or do we have more?
So we do have more. Unfortunately, that's the end for today, though. And if you want more, which you definitely do, you'll have to stay tuned for our other episode with Frannie.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a great, like you said, basic place to start. You need to know all of this, but let's tease them with what's coming next time.
Yes. So what we have next time, we have our beautiful cosmetologist here who does hair behind the chair for a living. So she's really going to take us through some intricate details of jewelry, eye color, all these things that after you know the basics of this are the next step to really elevate your look and your style. And so she's going to break down all those things.
I think there's really a key to picking out the perfect color for you based on your skin tone, your eye color. There is a method to it, just for people who don't maybe have their biological hair left.
Yes.
There is a way, or if you feel like you are kind of losing your hair at a different pace, you know what I mean? Because hair loss is unpredictable. There is a way to find the perfect color regardless of your hair loss situation, and we're gonna kind of walk you through that.
We're going to find the perfect color next time.
We're gonna find your perfect match.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so excited about that one. So stay tuned, everybody.
Yes, stay tuned. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Frannie, for having us.
Thank you for coming. I learned so much in just this basic class, so I can't wait till the next one.
Oh, good. We'll see you guys next time.
Yes.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.